Dr. Christine Momente. How are you?
Hi, fine, thank you. Good morning.
Thank you for being here. And Dee Dee West, thank you also, too, for joining us.
Yes, good morning.
I'm going to start with you, Doctor, and I'm going to call you Dr. M. First of all, tell my audience what colorectal cancer is and why is screening so important?
Thank you very much for having us and for your question. Colorectal cancer is a disease that occurs inside the colon and the rectum, which is the lower part of the GI system in our body. And when this occurs, a patient may develop polyps, which are usually the precursor to colorectal cancer. And among patients under 45, about 1 in 3 will develop a polyp before they're age 45. And so these polyps are usually the precursor lesion that eventually over time can take somewhere up to 7 years, sometimes a little bit longer, to develop into a cancer. And there's different stages that it progresses to a cancer. So the reason why we're so focused on screening for colorectal cancer is because this is one of the only diseases where there is a prime target for prevention. And that prime target is the polyp. And we can prevent colorectal cancer by removing polyps. And that is only done through colonoscopy. That is the gold standard for screening. There are other screening methods that can detect cancer early, but that is once the polyp has sort of progressed on and is a little more advanced and closer to the cancer stage. So there is benefits to detecting cancer early as well, because we know the survival over 5 years is 91% when this disease is caught in its earliest stages. And we know stage is highly correlated with survival. So the lower the stage, the higher the survival. And that is over 91%. And that's really why we're aimed at screening, because we can help people survive this disease and prevent this disease to begin with.
I want my audience to know that Dr. Christine Momente, she's a scientific advisor to the Colorectal Cancer Alliance. Dr. M, now tell me this. Now when we go to our primary doctor, periodically, and I think it must be every 5 years or 10 years, I guess, depending on when we get this at-home test because we're not in the high percentage. What's that at-home test about? Because nobody's really explaining that to us.
Yeah, so this home-based test, and there's a couple different ones out there, they can either detect the blood in your stool, they can detect the DNA in your stool that's sort of shed from a tumor or a lesion that's already in the colon. And so these tests are very highly sensitive, meaning they're very good at detecting if something is there or not. But the thing to keep in mind about those tests is that if it's positive, you have to have a colonoscopy. So it's a good first step if you don't want to do a colonoscopy to begin with. But ultimately, if it's a positive test, you need to go to colonoscopy to be checked. And that's really what we're all about is getting to that next stage, either doing colonoscopy first or after a colon stool-based test to get those polyps either removed or detect the cancer early.
Okay, Dee Dee, I haven't forgotten about you, but I want to ask the doctor a couple more questions.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to go on record that I recommend a colonoscopy. It's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. You know,
Yes.
You're out, they do it, and you wake up and say, "Are we ready?" And they say, "We're finished." So that I do like. But tell me about getting screened now at an earlier age. They're saying 45 instead of 50.
Well, 45 is the new 50. And the reason the age was changed is because of the alarming increase in cases under 50. So now today we're seeing a lot of patients, 1 out of 10 diagnosed in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. This was never the case years ago. Decades ago, we never saw that. But now we are starting to see it very frequently, and that's why the age is now 45.
Okay. Dee Dee, I'm going to ask you, can you give me your story? Can you share your story in a synopsis format for my audience to understand?
Yeah, so absolutely. So in 2020, at the age of 51, I became pretty sick, and I was really weak, tired, dizzy, and promised a family member I would go get a physical. So I met with my doctor, and just based on my age, he recommended I go get a colonoscopy. And so a few months later, I got that colonoscopy and was incredibly shocked to learn that I had cancerous polyps. And to be honest, I wish I would have known the screening age and the importance of the screening age being changed to 45. My first colonoscopy saved my life, and it was an amazing nap. And the colonoscopies get a bad rap, but far easier than getting a colon cancer diagnosis, I promise you.
And your message to those who are listening, those people who don't want to go to the doctor, especially?
Again, screening saves lives, and the Colorectal Cancer Alliance is, the leading organization in helping get that message out. They have a great resource in the colorectalcancer.org website for other survivors like myself. And they also have their website, getscreened.org. And we encourage everyone listening today to go to that website and get screened.
And give them that website once again, because I don't want them contacting me. Tell them again.
Getscreened.org.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited that you got screened, so you're here to tell your story. Thank you very much.
Me too.
Dr. M, as I wrap up, tell me about regular screenings again, because that seems to be something that people don't want to do.
People don't want to do regular screenings, but the Colorectal Cancer Alliance did a survey, and they found that 90% of people who said if they knew it prevented cancer, they would go out and get screened, and that's our message. Getscreened.org. Please visit it today and look at your screening options and your risk for colorectal cancer.
Dr. M and Dee West, you guys have probably saved more lives than you know.
I hope
I'm looking at my Facebook and Instagram, and people said they didn't know. A lot of people say they didn't know. So thank you for stopping by the Valder Beebe Show.
Thank you.
You guys have made my day. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of the Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.